G'day everyone, welcome to round 7 of the NRL, the Telstra Premiership. My name's Jimmy Smith and this is Lana Taylor. G'day Lana.
Hi Jimmy.
We better clear up before we get into this week's tips. How'd you go last week?
I think I got the same as you, Jimmy. 5?
No,
4.
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. No, you've made no gains on me though?
No, but more importantly, I've lost no ground on you, which is most important for me. I'm only 2 behind now. And I think this week...
This is the week.
This week, ladies and gentlemen, is the week that I'm going to catch up. Let's go to the first game. It's a funny one. It's a Wednesday. It's the Anzac Day clash, the traditional clash between the Roosters and the Dragons at Aussie Stadium. Kick-off 3 p.m. Lana, no Jason Riles now for the Dragons.
No, I think that does make a difference. But I haven't tipped the Roosters all year. And I want to be there when they get their first victory. So I'm going to be there. It's going to come their 1,000th victory, Anzac Day. The Roosters are finally going to get on the board. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think last week against, well, not the week before against Canberra, their good players started to play well again. Minicello played well. Craig Wing played his best game for the season. And Anthony Tupou, who's always dangerous. And Braithen Astor played his best game, I think, for the club. So that's positive signs for the Roosters. I'm going to go for the Roosters in that game.
I think by quite a big margin as well, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just adding a few more. Increasing
more
the stakes.
You still only get one if you get it right, though. Let's clear that up. Let's go to Friday night. There's 2 games on Friday night. The first one is the grand final replay. It's a rematch, not a replay, because otherwise it'd be 15-8. To the Broncos if it was a replay.
Okay, Jimmy. I think replay would have worked for everyone else, but anyway.
It's the Broncos up against the Storm. How do you see it?
I can't tip against the Storm yet. Still can't. I'm tipping the Storm victory, even though it's up in Brisbane.
Oh, I'm actually going to tip against the Storm. I think
you
the Broncos,
are?
Yeah, I think they've found some form. I think the Test match was the best thing to happen for them, and it's a form slump that the Melbourne are in. They've won 6 on the trot and they're in a form slump, so I'm going to tip the Broncos.
Were Brisbane that good against the Knights?
They're okay, yeah. I think they're fine, so I'm going to the Broncos in that one. The other game on Friday night is an interesting one. The Bulldogs up against the Tigers at Telstra Stadium. The Tigers had the bye last week. The Bulldogs had a 3-point win. How do you see it?
Well, I've realised I got bitten. I tipped against the Dogs last week and they got me. Willie Mason's too good. He's that good. I just can't tip against Willie Mason. Up against the Tigers, it's an easy one. Dogs. Yeah,
dominant forward pack. Sonny Bill Williams is back. Brent Sherwin holds his position. Ben Roberts, after playing in the Test match, misses out in the side. So that's very interesting. I'm going to go the Bulldogs in that one as well. The 5:30 game on Saturday on Fox Sports is the Panthers up against the Raiders. That's at CUA Stadium. Can the Raiders do it on the road?
Definitely not. They haven't won away. This is a bit of a non-event. I think if the Sharks could beat the Raiders to blot, I think the Panthers can do it as well.
Yeah, I think the Panthers will win. Tony Puletua, I want more from Tony Puletua, and Maddie Elliott's got to get on their discipline. It's been bad all season, but I think they'll win that one. The other game on Saturday night, it's Cowboys up against the Sea Eagles, the undefeated Sea Eagles at Dairy Farmers Stadium. How do you see this one after we saw the Cowboys go around last night? Yeah,
that's right. I think this is the match of the round. But tell me, Jimmy, what does a cowboy do when he falls off his horse?
He gets back on his horse.
That's right. Now, they fell off last night. They were bucked off by the Rabbitohs.
Yes.
They're going to get back on. They're not going to go down in Townsville 2 weeks in a row.
I'm not so sure. This Manly defence is outstanding. Back to how good it was in 95, 96, 97. They're conceding just 1 try a game.
Have they really been tested? The
No,
Dogs
is
the only one I can think of as a real test.
And the Dogs, by their own admission, were shocking in that first half against the Sea Eagles. Matty Bowen seems injured. Jonathan Thurston seems injured. Ashley Graham will be out with injury. David Faumu will be out with injury. I think they're limping into this game, the Cowboys. For the first time, I think the Sea Eagles might start favourites up there. I'm going to tip the Seals to continue their winning run. So that's another different one.
All right, looking forward to it.
I'm sure I'm going to catch you. Oh, the Rabbitohs, they're playing on Sunday. And that's out at Telstra Stadium. It's a kick-off at 2 p.m. up against the Warriors, who had the bye last week. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Lana?
I think it's a bad thing for the Warriors. I think the Rabbitohs are in good form. I think to beat the Cowboys up in Townsville, they sure as hell can beat the Warriors at home. I like their new look lineup. Dean Witters, Dino Magic, starting in the side, in the lock position, and I loved seeing Luke Stewart in the starting side as well. Fingers crossed he manages to avoid a bit of a match ban after a potential kick to Matty Bowen's head.
I think he'll be right with that. And I hate saying this, but that's not Luke Stewart's way he plays footy. I think Dean Witters was great on the weekend. I think Roy Asatasi, who had a bit of a neck and shoulder injury, I think that's his best game for the Rabbitohs.
Agree, as captain as well. That concerned me, but he came out and just said, I can be captain and the best player on the field.
Joey Williams' contribution for an 8-minute period was outstanding. A short kick for the try, the 40-20, the kick at goal, everything was going well for him there for that 8-minute period. He played well. I just worried about the Rabbitohs. Have they got enough points in them? If they hold the ball, they're great. They didn't hold the ball against the Cowboys. They still won. Can they get away with it against the Warriors? I'm not so sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a bandwagon that's going past.
You're jumping on it!
Jumping on
Jimmy's on the bandwagon. And you know what? I think it's just because you interviewed Russell Crowe on Triple M. You're now in mates with him, so
Russ and I like that.
Not surprised. I couldn't get you on the bandwagon, but Rusty did.
Speaking of bandwagons, it's just about fallen off. No, it hasn't quite fallen off. The Titans, they had a tough afternoon down at Brookvale. They've got the Eels up at Carrara on Sunday. It'll be the Channel 9 game. This one, Lana?
Home ground advantage, the Titans.
Oh, interesting. I think the Eels. I think the Eels will get them. I think the Titans are struggling a little bit for points. And Johnny Cartwright, stay out of the video refs box. I think it costs a lot of money, $5,000. Monday night on Triple M, you will listen to the Knights taking on the Sharks up there at Energy Australia. And this is going to be very interesting. The Knights played well against the Bronx, but the Sharks were very good against the Raiders.
Yeah, but it was against the Raiders, and the Raiders away from home. So I think a tough one still, but I think the Knights' performance up against the Broncos was more impressive even than the Sharks against the Raiders. I'm tipping the Knights here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the home side as well. I think they played very well. A little bit of drop ball in that last 10 minutes against the Broncos really cost them. I think they won't do that, hopefully, this week. So I'm going to go for the Knights in that one. A final tip. I'll get mine in first.
All right, you go for it.
Anzac Day, of course, coming up on Wednesday, lest we forget.
You must have spent a lot of time thinking about that one, Jimmy.
It's a digger day.
My tip is for the likes of a John Cartwright and probably all the other coaches in the NRL. If you shoot from the hip, you're likely to blow your own toes off. Watch out for it.
I like it. Taylor's coaches everywhere. Take heed. Till next week.
See you later.
See you later.